In the station with me right now, I have the great pleasure to have a room full of gentlemen who are here for a very important reason. Coming up on January 24th, this Saturday, 7:45 a.m. registration, Henry Mayo is hosting a Concussion Conference where they are going to talk to us about what to look for. Now, in the room with me, I have Dr. Kurian, I have Glen Debatos, and I have Mr. Monteleone. Gentlemen, hi, bring those microphones right up to you and say hello, first of all. Go ahead, say hi. It's radio. They can't hear. They can't see you.
Hello.
Now, Dr. Kurian is a neurologist, both pediatric and adult neurology. Is that correct? Okay. And Glen Debatos, you are here. You're
I'm a physical therapist.
Physical therapist?
Rehabilitation services at Henry Mayo.
All right. And Mr. Monteleone, what is your position?
I am a teacher. I am the director of sports medicine at Valencia High School.
Okay, concussion is one of those truly mysterious things, and I love the idea that Henry Mayo is hosting this awareness conference. I have two kids now, 18 and 22, and I often look at them and say, you're so lucky you're still here, because as a parent, one of the things, and I know coaches must go through this too, my kids have, taken a spill here or there, and concussion is one of those great mysteries where you look at your kid, and I know I am guilty as a parent. I don't know if coaches I would think of do the same thing. Oh, shake it off, you'll be fine. You didn't bean your head that badly. But there's more to this, isn't there?
There is, and we're actually learning a lot about it nowadays. We feel like, or we're learning more and more about the concussion, the symptoms of concussion, and it's not just, losing consciousness, getting hit. There's more to it than that. There's a lot of other symptoms that come up just even days, weeks, months afterwards, and we're here to educate parents, providers, athletic trainers as to what these symptoms are, what are the warning signs, and how to go about getting people treated for it.
Now, a concussion, I look at us as little pink planets. We really are very, very susceptible to injuries and problems. And for the most part, you break a leg, you'll repair that, you get an injury, you can come back from it. But this is the kind of the most important part of us, isn't it? It's the computer that runs us.
I like to think that you can replace a heart, replace a lung. You can't replace a brain. You're kind of stuck with the one you got, and it's up to us to make sure we protect that. And if anyone does get any kind of brain injury, we're there to help get them the treatment that they need. All
right. So this conference is taking place Saturday, the 24th. People can come and register at 7:45. And what kind of things will you cover within? I mean, it's all morning long. And walk me through the process. What can I expect? Because this is open to parents, it's open to educators, it's open to coaches.
Coaches, trainers, actually a lot of people in the community. One thing though is that they have to RSVP.
They do have to RSVP.
Yes. So we have limited seats, and we're actually filling fast. As of today, we have about 120 registered attendees.
That's amazing. And what's the capacity, if you don't mind asking?
We're actually limiting it to 150.
So if you're listening and you want to get in on this, you have to get in now and you have to RSVP. You're going to do that by either calling 661-200-1300, or you can send an email to concussionconference@henrymayo.com. All right, so people will come in. They'll come in the morning. They'll register. They'll get breakfast like any other conference. And then you're going to have speakers, and you have some very interesting topics. I rather like the one that's Hard Knocks for Jocks, Truth or Dare, and Youth Concussions. I mean, we have some kids that take some pretty hard hits in their sports. Yeah. And would one sport, do you think, be more dangerous than another, or is it pretty much across the board?
Well, traditionally, it's always been thought of as football as the big sport to get concussions at, and we're actually learning that there's a lot of other sports that can get involved. Glen has a lot of experience with mountain bikers who got injured. We're starting to notice that soccer players actually get a lot of injuries from that too. And in terms of the district, we're noticing that cheerleaders are getting a lot of concussions also. So it's not just your typical high school football player, it's everyone else too.
And just when you think the helmet, for example, bicyclists, where you think, oh, they have a helmet, they're fine, that's not true.
No, not at all. And we're actually even learning a lot about helmet technology. There was was a conference in Chicago just this past July, and there was an entire lecture dedicated to specific types of helmets and how well they actually protect us. And we're starting to learn that not all helmets are created equal, and that there are specific designs that need to go in to protect our kids' brains. And we're learning more and more about that, and hopefully we're going to be able to incorporate that into district play soon.
I love that you're going to educate people on all the dangers of traumatic brain injury. And I was never one of those moms who wanted to bubble wrap her kids and don't do anything because I don't want you to get hurt. I was never that person. But in hearing what the things we should know, because I've had the kids, take that hit and then say, I don't really know what to look for. I don't really know, when do I take them to the doctor? When do I call the hospital? So you're going to help us through that mystery.
This is what part of the conference goal is, to educate the people in the community. And what are the symptoms? How do you manage it? How do you track it? Who do you see? Because our greatest challenge right now, this is why Henry Mayo is working with the Hart School District, that's why Joe is here, is that we want to educate the community primarily on identifying the symptoms and the management. What is the law for high school athletes? What is the proper care? And having the three specialists talk about this gives the community a chance to understand and learn as we develop a community-wide standard on managing concussion injuries.
We really do have to all work together. It can't just be about the parents. It can't just be about the coaches. It can't just be about, the people being responsible for themselves. This is a wonderful opportunity for everyone to come together, have a dialogue, and see how best serve the needs of the community. This is a very wonderful thing. Gentlemen, thank you for being here, letting us know a little bit about this. Is there anything, Coach, over the years, how many years have you been in the coaching business?
I've been coaching football since for probably 21 years, and I stopped coaching to start the sports medicine program at Valencia, and I've been doing that for 12 years now, going on our 13th year. And so over the time, we've seen a lot of different variety of students come in with these injuries.
Now, you must have had concerns yourself. Do you feel that having put yourself in this position now, you're able to let people? Do you see a change? Let me ask it that way. In all of the years that you've been involved in sports, do you see a pretty significant change where there is a need for awareness and there is a need for the dialogue?
For concussion, definitely, and it all started with the NFL, and the NFL had their big to do with all the NFL athletes who were having problems with suicides and that kind of stuff. They're realizing that there is an issue, and now that is finally getting down to the high school level, where we are at right now. And so because of that, California has come up with a new Assembly Bill 2127 stating that there will be a 7-day return to play protocol for all athletes and people, young students, who have had sustained a concussion. So not only do the student will get a concussion doing whatever sport they were doing, that they would see a doctor, the doctor would hold them out until they are symptom-free. Then they would go back to school, or now they're going to go back to school and go through a 7-day return to play protocol. If that Valencia High School, they would do it with me and my sports med students, and each day they would progress to do something a little bit more physical. They would start with an easy movement, then more moderate, and then more heavy duty, then return to play back to their practice. So they can't go back to play into their regular sport until they go through this protocol.
All right. Neurologist Dr. Kurian. I have sports coach Mr. Monteleone and Glen Debatos, who's here also with physical therapy. These gentlemen are all going to be part of the Henry Mayo Concussion Conference. They are hosting this to bring awareness to the Santa Clarita Valley, not just parents, not just coaches, really anyone who wants to learn more. They are limited as far as their capacity, and if you would like to attend this, it's taking place this Saturday, January 24th, 7:45 a.m. is the registration. They're going to feed you continental breakfast, by the way. You need to call 661-200-1300 to RSVP, or you can send an email to concussionconference@henrymayo.com. Gentlemen, I thank you for being here and giving us just a little thumbnail sketch of what you'll be discussing this Saturday. Can you tell me also where there will be plenty of parking? I assume there will be ample parking for everyone, and where exactly are they going?
Right. There's actually the new parking structure at Henry Mayo, and you can't miss that. It's about 4 levels of parking in the hospital campus.
Excellent.
Where they're going is actually the Henry Mayo Education Center,
Okay.
which is a new building in front of the hospital.
This is very exciting. Okay, so Henry Mayo Center is the Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital is located at 23803 McBean Parkway. Again, they are hosting the Concussion Conference. You get an opportunity to learn more. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here,
Thank
and we
you.
look forward to seeing you on Saturday.